Some big news unfolding right now in the world of ACDC, one of the most iconic bands of all time. You'll recall a couple of years ago, the band's frontman, Brian Johnson, was unable to perform with the band anymore and subsequently departed performing with the group due to reported hearing issues. The band then later performed with none other than Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose for a time. It was believed by some that the band would be moving on with Axl Rose, but that is not the case. There is some exciting reporting happening right now after ACDC was recently spotted by a photographer in the studio somewhere in Canada. Now we are learning from none other than radio host Eddie Trunk that ACDC has plans to make a surprise comeback with their longtime frontman, Brian Johnson, and they're going to be touring and releasing a new album. Here is what Eddie Trunk had to say. He said, "I think ACDC, it's pretty much a done deal that these guys are going to make a record or have made a record, and a record is going to come out. I have sources that have told me they are absolutely going to tour with Brian back again. That's all unconfirmed from their camp, but had it from reliable sources." He continues saying, "I think it's pretty much a done deal that ACDC at the very least are going to release some sort of a record, and it'll be some sort of a record, and it'll have some sort of tribute to Malcolm, just like Back in Black was a tribute to Bon Scott. So I have no doubt that, and I'm pretty confident that they're going to do shows as well, but I think at this point it's pretty much just when they will announce it." Now, this is the most ACDC news that we've gotten in some time. There have been rumors, but now we're hearing multiple rumblings from their camp that this is going to go down. And if it does, you can bet this is going to be one of the biggest tours of the last few years, just given ACDC's worldwide iconic stature. Now, this was backed up by a report earlier this week when there was an interview with the record masterer who has worked with ACDC for quite some time, Tony Jack the Bear Mance, who said that, quote, well, yeah, I can say that we've been in the studio doing something. What's come of that, I can't discuss yet, but, So when you've got multiple people talking about one thing from different sources at different times, the likelihood is that that information is probably reliable. So it's worth getting excited about ACDC making their grand comeback with their own longtime frontman, Brian Johnson. This was something that a lot of people thought they weren't going to see again, but fortunately, this is going to go down, and when it does, it's going to be an absolute spectacle. So shout out to ACDC. This is exciting. We're going to keep an eye out for when the news does drop, or whenever that may be. You can keep it locked with Rockbeat and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. That's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us here today. You can also check out these recommended videos. Appreciate you guys so much, and we'll see you all very soon.